If you want to hear a story, I have some. A lot of people thought they were lies because they are so tremendous and so unbelievable, but they weren't.
Yep.
It's going. Okay, this is take 10. Oh, my name is Rick James, and I'm 65 years old now. Oh, something went wrong. She wants it exactly right, because a lot of people don't think my stories are all that true, but they are, unfortunately. We're going to sort of recap on a story of my world adventures around the mid-80s, when everything was going terrible in the world, and I just happened to get caught up in bloody most of it. Yeah, my life started, we were quite a well-off family. As soon as I was old enough, my parents sent me away to a boarding school, which was in my 7th year. I was 7. But it was just a life of pure terror, really. Yeah, there was a lot of corruption going on in boarding schools in those days, back in the 60s. You could be hurt or physically abused by somebody. So I probably rebelled against quite a few things and had the opportunity with no parental guidance to do that. Yeah, well, my brother Timothy, he was also at boarding school, but he was 2 years ahead of me. We all got out of there, but Tim got out for half a year and he was dead in that time. So he really didn't have a great life either. Yeah, my brother was drowned in Barry Crump's Land Rover, if anybody has heard of Barry Crump.
Well, there is one other way you can get in here. And that's it right there.
And he was only 13 years old, and it didn't take long before the whole family was destructed. Look, it fell apart. My father took all the money back to England and left me and my mother destitute. From then on, my family situation started to disintegrate. When he left, he said, if I didn't kill your mother, she was going to kill me. Something that I just sort of ran away from, just to be gone. I had no choice to get out because everything went absolutely crap. Yeah, it's fairly hard talking about some of this stuff, but I don't really want to go closely into it unless somebody really wants to hear it. I have made counsellors cry and never asked me to go back. And I think I'm sort of over. But the day I got onto a ship heading away from New Zealand, pretty well every sort of thing that I had that wasn't wrong in my head vanished. I was off on a journey, and boy, it turned out to be a magnificent journey. And we'll get to that in a minute. But I went to Waihi Beach, which was at the time a lawless society. But then me and a friend, Chris Wright, we were always wanting to go for an overseas trip, and he mentioned that we should go up to Auckland and stay at his parents' place and then go down to the container wharf and go straight to the source, go straight to the captain in these ships. As soon as they come in, they drop a gangplank down. We were hiding in amongst the containers on the wharf, and we're as fast as we could get on that gangplank as soon as it dropped. And that was sort of, that was our big boost, free trip all the way to Canada, plus a whole lot of fun on the way. This is when we were on our own, and it was the start of moving on with no security. We slept in building sites and office buildings, anywhere that had any cover. It took quite a while to get down to LA, is where we were going. So I started unpacking my sleeping bag with all the homeless people. These two drug dealers came round, Dane ahead and his brother, and they come to me and says, "Oh, do you want to buy some speed?" And I says, "Oh, no, I haven't got I'd love some, but I haven't got enough money for that." But then they said, "You can't be here with all these bloody hobos and bums and homeless people. You know, like, come and stay on my brother's yacht." I went to the biggest, honkiest boat in the whole of the marina. And this guy popped his head out of the companionway, and that moment was a moment that transformed my whole trip. I met this guy, Malcolm Toy, who was the captain on two big luxury yachts. He says, "Grab your bags. I'm going to give you a job." Being on this particular boat was the beginning of a fantastic voyage and voyages all over the world. And we did, you know, and here comes some stories. Right, yeah, we're filming now?
Yep.
All right. So, here we go. So we stopped off at all these places, and then we went to one major town, which was called Puerto Vallarta. The propaganda coming out of El Salvador was bloody wicked, you know. They did it in English. And over the radio, we had to listen to people getting shot and killed in front of their families. And we had the problem of how we're going to get past the strait, you know, without getting beaten to death. And plus, we had a mountain of bloody rifles and guns and ammunition on our boat. You know, like if we did get picked up, we could be conceived to be something, you know, because everybody was shooting everybody and killing each other. We sailed into one island, which I think it was called San Andreas or something. We pull up there, and some buggers on the beach start shooting at us, and Malcolm gets on the phone, gets on channel 16 with all these fishing boats. They've had all their passports, everything taken away from them. They were unable to fuel, unable to do anything, and they've been there for a very long time, this whole fishing fleet. And they said, "Get the hell out of here. Do not stop here. Move now." We were all in the water flapping around having a marvellous time. And then Captain Mao told us all to get out straight away. And there was bullets flying around all over the bloody place. And one of them shot me in the back of my leg. And the bullet's still there. Lodged into my bone. So I sort of got away quite lightly. Get the hell out of there. Yeah. Yeah, which was, and we headed off towards Belize, which was English. This was coming up the Caribbean. The pirate thing was the Mexicans. You know, it was relatively early in the morning. Like it wasn't my shift. My crewmate was on shift that day, and he starts kicking my cabin window, going, "Get the guns! Get the guns! Get the guns!" Boom, boom, boom. And we had this armory like you wouldn't bloody believe. We had an M16, an AR-15, all sorts of bloody assault weapons, and a load of bloody ambulance. We were supplied for this particular type of event. This Mexican guy hangs over the side of his freeboard and says, "Buenos dias, senor." Like in a real sarcastic way. And I'd been into the lazarette, got the guns. We had pre-buddy magazines. We put a stop to it, because we had better guns. The last thing I wanted to do was kill somebody, but when it comes to the point where to defend yourself, you may have to shoot somebody. Yeah, which is, I tell you what, it's a bit of a complicated thing that goes in your brain. We didn't really have to, once they saw what we've got, they were going to get a right smacking. They disappeared. Thank Christ. So we had loads of fun, like a couple of close calls, with people that might kill us. Yeah, we were in amongst cartel, very bad people. And getting out of Panama was the best thing we could do. But then again, once we were out of Panama, we were numbered. Like everywhere we went, everywhere we stopped, there'd be all this law enforcement coming down on us, like fucking going through the boat. And it particularly hasn't even stopped, it went on for years. Wherever I go, they giving me the absolute fleecing. I sort of wonder why. Even in 2010, I was coming back from New Caledonia, and we had a big boat. It was a Herreshoff 60, Herreshoff Bounty, 60 foot, 72 overall. And coming into New Zealand, we get done by this aeroplane flying over the top of us, taking bloody photographs and stuff. We got gunned by aircraft. And then we get into it's Opua, we go into isolation in the Bay of Islands, and then you can go from there to wherever you want. We wake up in the morning and there's a rat-a-tat-tat, and there's a rubber dinghy full of people with these huge cameras. And they're all running up and down the wharf, and we were going, what's going on? And it was, they said, we're this television program called Border Control. And we got numbered by something terrible. And then we went to Fort Lauderdale, and we sailed into the marina, tied off, and we did not see one official until we left. We were able to get off the boat and go into town without even showing anybody our bloody passports and all that sort of stuff. And we went up to Fort Lauderdale, sailed into, this is Miami, sailed in, big bridge, open like that. We just sailed right under the bridge in front of the restaurants and everything. Absolutely perfect. Did everything right, and then had a sandbar. The whole boat fucking leaned over, 45 degrees. Yeah, and then the owner of the boat, that he said to me and a few others, like, where do you want to go? In the world, where do you want to go? And I says, I wouldn't mind going to England. So Larry Spires bought us a couple of tickets to England. And that's when another whole story starts. Yeah, I went to England, and thank you very much for participating and watching this, because it's not what I'd recommend, but it was extremely fringing on dangerous, but I came back with a whole lot of bloody stories, and that's what you want, I found some wonderful people, and I became family with them, so that's it. Get out there and have a good time. Make the best of it. Silly if you don't. Thank you.
Nice, Dad.
Hmm?